Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Giving IT some praise on this beautiful Sabbath day. Blessed love to one and all. I do not own copyright to the music that is playing in the background, but I love Bob Marley. Bob Marley is the one who bring forth reggae music to the forefront. Not only Bob Marley, but Bonnie Wailer and Peter Tosh as well. So blessed love to the Holy Trinity. Giving IT some praise to the Most High King Selassie I, Queen Menen. Africa must unite, but through Ethiopia. This is why the continent of Africa suffer, for they refuse, or should I say they refuses, to honor the King of Kings. They refuse to cite the King of Kings, the King of all kings, the conquering line of the tribe of Yehuda. So that's very important for the continent of Africa to overstand, and to see Ethiopia as the only place that hasn't been colonized on Earth, or should I say planet Earth. So that's very important, for everyone, not just only on the continent of Africa, but throughout the whole world, throughout the whole Earth. If Ethiopia had been colonized by these foreign invaders or by these evil forces, then we would have still been in slavery today, and even worse slavery. For King Selassie came and saved us and redeemed us and called us home. But yet still we refuse. We rather hold on to an island or a country. Why give up a continent for a country or an island? So Africa is the foundation of where all humanity came from, where civilization began. Africa is that sacred place. Africa is the Garden of Eden. Africa is where everything began or begin. So, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. But I want to specifically talk more about Ethiopia. For Ethiopia is very sacred. A lot of people don't understand the power that came out of Ethiopia. They try it with Menelik. When Menelik sit upon the throne, the Italian invasion, they defeated. They try again. When King Selassie sit upon the throne, the great King of Kings, the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, and he is the last King of Kings that sit upon David's throne, and that's been done for a reason. Because his sons could have taken the throne, his grandsons could have taken the throne, whichever one was appointed to rule next. But King Selassie is the last King of Kings, the Emperor, to sit upon the throne of David, which is his throne. So, Ethiopia, we must look to Ethiopia for our redemption. We must look to Ethiopia to be free. We must look to Ethiopia for unity, for Ethiopia is that place where the throne of David is. Ethiopia is the place where the Most High dwelleth. That's why it's called Mount Zion. Wherever the Ark of the Covenant is, that's where the Most High, divine Creator is. So that's the most important thing that we need to understand. If Ethiopia had been colonized, once again, we would have been in slavery. A day like today, we would have still been picking cotton. After Ethiopia, after the Italian invasion, when Mussolini invaded Ethiopia in the mid 1900s, right? If they had colonized Ethiopia and conquered Ethiopia, then we would have been in such deep trouble. But the Most High had compassion upon his people, and he promised to redeem us. He promised to restore us. But yet we refuse, And I've met a lot of Rastas who claim in Haile Selassie, who claim in King Selassie, who claim in the great King Selassie as their God and King. But yet still, they do not have the essence. They do not produce what King Selassie produced and what he was doing and what he accomplished. For unity is our greatest strength. From you sight of the King of Kings and you become a Rasta and you begin to follow King Selassie, we must first overstand unity. So unity is our greatest strength, and Africa is that place where everyone came from. But Ethiopia specifically is where the power, is where the light, shine out of the dark. When everywhere else was carved up by the colonizers, Ethiopia is the only place withstand these wicked forces, these evil forces. So Ethiopia, every leaders on the continent of Africa must look to Ethiopia. President Kenyatta, Kwame Nkrumah, if I'm pronouncing his name right, excuse me if I'm not. They all went and paid the King of Kings homage. They all went to the king for advice. They all went to the king for guidance. And everywhere else, Switzerland, China, Europe, all of these places, the Queen, they all went to King Selassie and pay him homage for whatever reason they went there for, so, because everybody got their own reason. Because this is God, this is the divine creator, King Selassie, the Davidic dynasty, the Davidic throne. So that's very important for us to understand, and I feel most of us don't understand the time that we are living in, So to them who out there who claiming Rastafari and not trying to organize and centralize and come together on one accord, Rastafari is not only about beating drum and chanting psalms and smoking herb. It's more deep. We must get organized and centralized because this is war. Yeah, this is war. And the struggle continues, So King Selassie is the head of the whole earth. King Selassie Queen is earth's rightful ruler. When the continent of Africa come under the umbrella of Ethiopia and begin to follow the King of Kings and the Queens of Queens, then things will be great and things will be restored unto us. How can we find our way without following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? That's the most important thing. So King Selassie Queen Menen is the divine beings that has created us and make us here today. So we must do and obey as they say. Give thanks and praise to one and all, For Ethiopia is the foundation. Ethiopia is where the Davidic throne is, as written in the Bible. So blessed love to one and all. Give thanks and praise on this beautiful Sabbath day. Do not own copyrights to the music that is playing in the background. Blessed love to one and all, Ethiopia, King Selassie is the King of Kings. Blessed love to one and all.